blood of those innocent martyrs that were killed last night are on Martin Kubler's hands today. Today, Martin Kubler ought to resign his position at the United Nations in disgrace. Shame on the United Nations and shame on the United States Department of State. Shame on you. And you, Martin Kubler, watched it become a concentration camp. You allowed it to become a concentration camp, and you permitted it to become a killing field, and the responsibility is directly on your hands. You shouldn't resign. Ban Ki-moon should fire you today.
Thank you so much. Like everyone here, I am saddened by the fact that the celebration that we hope to achieve and advocate today has been stolen from us in this very, very sad and tragic attack on Camp Liberty. And I would like to join all of my colleagues on the dais in expressing our deepest condolences for your great loss. As you know, the humane and proper treatment of the Ashraf refugees is an issue on which many of us here have devoted much time and attention. Since the United States turned over its responsibility to the Maliki government in 2009, the treatment of the Ashraf refugees has been a travesty. And as a result, to the United States, to the United States honor and dignity, the murder, harassment, and mistreatment to which the people of Ashraf have been subject is a sad, sad chapter in our history, a stain on the international community and an indictment on the Iraqi government that has allowed itself to be used as a tool of Tehran.
This is indeed a tragic day, but one that we must find even increased resolve, that the sacrifice of the 6 people and dozens more with their injuries suffered, and daily they suffer in Camp Liberty. Daily they will suffer in Camp Liberty, in fear, in substandard living conditions, with lack of freedom. They will continue to suffer until the world, and particularly the United States, turns their attention and does something now to solve this human crisis. Today at Camp Liberty, we see the consequence of a failure on the part of this administration to keep its promise, not just to the people of Camp Liberty, but to the people of this country and the people of the region, the people of the world, to stand up for the values that this country says that we are willing to fight for and sacrifice for. We made a promise to the people at Camp Ashraf, and we broke that promise and people died.
I want to say, first of all, just an expression of condolence and sympathy. Today, Iran is in deep trouble, rapidly deteriorating, an economy in a mess, political infighting very much in display this week, and a crisis of confidence. The supreme leader and his control of Iran is a catastrophic development for the democratic aspirations of the Iranian people. To conclude, let me just say that our policies must include a support, and this is where you come in, of a unified, capable, organized, democratic opposition to the Iranian regime.
Well, UNHCR has done whatever interviewing it has to do, and everybody, other than the people who have died in the interim, are still at Camp Liberty. That's how we got to where we are. And then came the attack last night. And Martin Kobler? What did Martin Kobler say this morning when he heard about this attack? He said that explosions had occurred in the camp, as if it were spontaneous. And then he said that Iraqi policemen had been injured in the attack, as if to suggest that somehow the Iraqis weren't responsible for it. And what do we learn from all of this? We learn that this is what happens when a great nation and a well-conceived organization like the United Nations don't live up to their ideals. This is where you get.
You know the report I received before last night about insanitary and inhumane living conditions. But what happened this morning is now the most serious, troubling, and dare I say, criminal act that we have seen thus far. If last night's attack on liberty was meant to silence and to intimidate us, our message to Iran and to the Iraqi government is, you lose. We are here. We are here. We are here, and we will remain here, and we will not be silenced until there is a democratic and free Iran.
This is a sad day. People were martyred who had no call for martyrdom. Life was denied. Happiness can't be the expectation in Camp Liberty, and liberty does not represent freedom and democracy in Camp Liberty. Our government made a promise. I saw that promise being made, but it was a false promise. Words were not honored. Commitments were not kept. The Iraqi government should be